Peter Gene Hernandez, or known as Bruno Mars in the music industry, always had a passion for music. At the age of 4, he joined the family business. The Rock and Roll 1950s Review performed for travelers in Waikiki hotels. Bruno would impersonate Elvis Presley and was a huge hit. By the age of 6, he was all over the internet and was given the nickname Bruno by his father. His father would call him Bruno because he reminded him of a wrestler of that time. The wrestler went by the name of Bruno Sammartino, who was stocky, like Bruno. The name stuck with him through his high school years. In school, Bruno formed a band and would open for a local magician. Following his graduation of high school, he packed up his belongings and flew out to LA. His sister was already out there and encouraged him to pursue his music career in the land of opportunity. He wasn't having much luck and was struggling to make ends meet. He needed to find a way to pay the bills, so he took up gambling. Poker became his game, and for a while, that's how the bills were paid. When out with some friends, Bruno was introduced to Philip Lawrence, a songwriter. The two grew close and decided to write songs for other artists, which included CeeLo Green's Forget You, Flo Rida's Right Round, and Kanon's Waving Flag, to name a few. After him and Lawrence wrote songs for a while, Bruno got to make an appearance on a song he wrote for B.O.B. called Nothing on You. Not too long after, Bruno gained some recognition and was on the rise. In November of 2010, he released his song Grenade, along with his first album, Doo-Wops and Hooligans, the month before. The song Grenade was Bruno's first ever solo debut, and he wrote the song because he was going through a tough time with relationships. He did his best and did all he could in the relationship, but she still didn't feel the same. The whole album is about love in some form, and they all have their own story behind them. The album, along with the songs, did beyond great that Bruno won a Grammy for the song Grenade. But while on tour for his album, Bruno gets arrested for cocaine possession at the Hard Rock Hotel. He was approached by hotel security in the restroom and complied with them as they arrested him. By the time for his next show in Texas, he was done with the court appearances, and the verdict given was informal probation for 1 year and 200 hours of community service. If the verdict was not met, then other consequences would be issued. In the end, when the judge was reviewing the case and saw that Bruno met and exceeded the verdict, the case was dismissed and expunged from his record. But everyone still knew. In December of 2012, Bruno released another album, Unorthodox Jukebox. This album includes the songs Treasure, Locked Out of Heaven, When I Was Your Man, and a few more. With the songs Bruno put on the album, they all catered to both men and women. In his song, Treasure, he expressed how highly he thinks of women and how they should be treated right, like treasure. And for men, in his song, When I Was Your Man, it expresses how it feels when you neglect the one you love and they leave. This album did extremely well. The years go on, Bruno's doing well and is being featured on popular songs. He's doing tours for his latest album and catches up with Mark Ronson. In 2014, Bruno and Mark come out with the song Uptown Funk. The song becomes a hit, and Bruno gets back into doing interviews and starring on TV. He then announces he's working on a third album in early 2015. Then in November of 2016, he releases his third album, 24 Karat Magic. Since this is Bruno's comeback album, he's going all out. He's doing tours and selling merchandise. The main song on his album is 24 Karat Magic, and it describes how happy he is to be back making music and just wants to enjoy it as if it were a party. When Bruno isn't touring, he gives to charity like many other celebrities. He has done charity events and tremendously helped out with donations. He's donated to a local charity in Manila, the Philippines, to Typhoon Yolanda survivors. The $100,000 donation was given to the charity to help those affected. The charity used the donations to provide medical care for kids, natural disaster readiness workshops, feeding programs, and therapy for kids with overwhelming stress. Bruno has been supporting this charity for 6 years. He supports many other charities and causes such as the Red Cross, Candies Foundation, Grammy Foundation, and DoSomething.org, along with many others. Since he's grown up poor and climbed his way to the top, he's humble and loves to help out any way he can. Throughout his years of writing and performing songs, he's always done one thing. When writing, he keeps in mind that he wants to make a song that everyone can enjoy and dance to. As he was growing up, the songs he heard were so great to him that he now tries to make his have the same effect on others. Overall, he just wants to make music that will be able to have such a positive effect on anyone who hears them.